Merry meet. You are joining Country Dwellers podcast. I am Runa with my sister Marilyn, and you are walking down the path to our little cottage in the internet where we will explore all things witchy.
Yes, all things witchy. Welcome to episode 16, everyone. And we hope that everyone had an amazing Yule and a good new year. a good new year for you personally, excluding all of the shit happening around the world. So take all of that out. How was your personal new year? That's what I want people to focus on. How was your personal new year, Runa?
It was very quiet. We did our traditional burning of the good things. We keep a gratitude jar, and all throughout the year when good things happen to us or we feel a moment of gratitude for whatever, we write it on a piece of paper and we put it in the jar. And on New Year's Day, we sit by the fire and we kind of recollect. I mean, and it was really interesting given what 2020 was to kind of go through those. It felt like the jar was a little less populated than typical, but there was some very, very interesting things that came out of it. So, and, you know, we had our typical Hoppin' John stew and, you know, just kind of reset ourselves and, you know, put our armor on, as it were, for 2021, because it really felt like a little bit of same shit, different day to a degree, but
yeah,
you know,
I hear you on that. Yeah, for sure. For sure. I do understand that. So this year, because it kind of did feel like, well, we're just kind of phasing into, you know, what's really changing. You know what I'm saying? We're phasing into the new year. So this year, because of that feeling, I decided to do something that I used to do when I was a kid. And when I was full of wonder and full of positivity and full of all those things. And so I gathered the kids, gathered the husband. We went outside, we banged pots and pans, we screamed in the new year like we had talked about. I mean, like we screamed it in. And we had snappy poppy things. And so we were throwing all snappy poppy things. We were the only ones out there, by the way, screaming our heads off, banging, drumming, all of those things. I was so happy that we did it. The kids enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I had my dad on the phone, so he kind of was with us bringing in the new year. So that was fun. Yeah. So it was a nice way to bring in that new year with just a subtle change to it, a childish, whimsical, fun kind of change. You know what I mean? Phasing into new. I love
it. Yeah. Yeah, no, this year we actually stayed up.
I know we did too, which was shocking in its.
You know, which is such a change, because over the course, I would say the last 5 years, I have not really made it to midnight. And we toasted in the new year and watched the virtual fireworks at the Space Needle and, you know, sent our little text messages to everybody. But yeah, it was good, and it was profound at the same moment.
Yes. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you very much so. All right. So as promised, what we are talking about today is words as magic. And if you all don't know, number one, Runa is a writer. That's like her real gig in this world. She's a writer. And number two, I love writing spells and things like that, weaving of the words, making those magical words come to life. And that's one of the things that both of us love to do. So let's discuss how you can make the most normal word become magic.
Well, you know, because I am who I am, I have to talk about the history of magical words. And Probably, I mean, you have to think about the evolution and development of man, and when language first became such a thing as humans developed. But the most famous word is abracadabra.
Mhm.
And um, a lot of people will wrongly say that it means it will be created in my words, because J.K. Rowling wrote it in Harry Potter.
Mm.
And that's kind of true, but poetic license. She's the writer. She turned it a little bit, but it's actually its root and history comes from Aramaic, which it means I will create it. I create as I speak, which
Mm.
is super powerful. And it's not abracadabra, but avra cadavra. And so, of course, it's been anglicized. Us white people just took it over and turned it into abracadabra. I'm just gonna say it like it is. But avra cadavra means I create as I speak. And
Mm.
it's funny, in Russian vernacular, it means, isn't that strange?
Well, I like the I create as I speak, because I'm a big person. I'm one that really, really believes that as we speak, we are putting those words into the universe. So be
Mhm.
very, very aware of what comes out of your mouth, even your thoughts, you know what I'm saying? But definitely what you're saying, what you're writing, be very aware, because that is what we are feeding the universe, So
Mm.
yes, you are creating as you speak, because we are all part of the universe in general anyway.
Right. It's a lesson in, charge your thoughts, change your thoughts, rather, change your words, change your life, as you change your words. So, if you want to change your thoughts, you have to change your words. If you want to change your life, you have to change your words. Words are magic, and like we have learned even recently, words are important. Language is important.
100%.
Holds power. And where goes your focus, so goes your energy. So where your words go, so goes your energy. It brings us back to energy, intent, and that is the most powerful part of any kind of magic, as you know.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, one of the ways that you can take one of the most normal words that you would use and create some kind of magic and beauty to it is thesaurus. The thesaurus is one of my very, very best friends. I love it so very much. And one of the best things that could have ever happened is thesaurus.com, dictionary.com. Best. Now, don't get me wrong.
Except for when your internet goes out.
Well, totally. But don't get me wrong. You're going to flip. I still have the original dictionary that I had when I was a young girl going through school. And every time my father or I'd ask my dad, what does this word mean? He would say, go look it up. And this began my love of dictionary, thesaurus, verbiage. And I'm like, okay, fine. So I'd go grab my big ass fat dictionary and I'd highlight it. I'd highlight the words that I've looked up. And God knows that some of those words are no longer in my head. But I think that it's funny that I still have that damn thing. And that is my go-to resources are dictionary and thesaurus, to really, really find the words that I know I want to say, but they're just not sitting right there, So making your words magic and creating the change that you want to see with these words sometimes takes a little help. So don't be surprised if even trying to divine download, meditating on it, whatever, you're not getting the words that fit into that puzzle that you're trying to create the whole of.
Right.
Check out dictionary.com, thesaurus.com, check out witchy web pages. There's so many I love doing that in general because there's so many amazing writers out there, and some of them just have this beautiful stuff just written on their web pages, and I'm like, oh my God, that's gorgeous, and I love that word. You know what I mean? So it's, you can get ideas, and it's not that we don't have them in here. Sometimes we just can't access them because there's so much going on. You know?
Yeah, and when that happens to me, in addition to, you know, trying to reach out and divine things by using those resources, I'll do some automatic writing.
Yes.
And
Mm-hmm.
that
Automatic
a
writing
lot
is a good one. That's a good
what's
one.
that?
Automatic writing is fun. I enjoy that.
Yes, no, and for me, it is the tool that I fall upon when I'm really, really needing to answer a question.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I might do a rune casting or have a tarot reading, but if those are still creating more questions as opposed to answers, then automatic writing always is a path forward to me. And the words that are created by that, 9 times out of 10, they give me the answer. And a lot of times it's like, you already freaking knew what the answer was. You just, you know, are avoiding it for whatever reason. The other part of that is when you create your intentions, when you're doing spell work, when you're doing rituals, when you just need to have, you know, a mantra for whatever, words are important in how that you put them together as well. You don't want to incorporate any kind of doubt or fear or
Yeah, especially when writing
trickster energy, right? You know, when you're setting your intention.
Unless that intention is that trickster energy that you're trying to build.
Yeah, there are those that are probably listening that work a lot with chaos magic. That's not something that I do a whole lot of. I find it really imbalancing for myself, but other people, that's their jive, you know.
I'm married chaos. I'm married.
Yeah.
I am Lilith and he is chaos, and we somehow balance each other the fuck out. I don't know.
But you know, setting those intentions, where's my magic of eye? You know, when I sat down and I was working through the Magic of Eye book, and doing 2021 intentions, you know, I wanted to make sure that they were like active, positive.
Yes.
You know, I will do this. I, you know, I expand. I find
already
ease with
in that action. Already in that action. That is how I write my intentions, and I believe that that is one way to bring those intentions to you is to already write as though you are in that action. You know.
Yes. Yes.
That's definitely a way of creating magic right there. Be aware.
Yes. Agreed. And I'm like sitting here, I feel like like those dudes in Saturday Night Live. Yes. But also words is magic. You know, I know a lot of pagans set like a word for the year, and I most certainly did that. I've been doing that for years and years and years, and it wasn't until I got heavily into Instagram that I recognized that actually other people did it.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't think that there are any original thoughts out there anymore.
Oh no. Well, I mean, I wasn't thinking like, oh, aren't I clever or whatever.
No, but I'm saying I think the more that we all put out this energy of infusion and inclusion, the more our thoughts are becoming one. You know what I'm saying? So especially and on Insta, you and I and several of our other witchy friends, that's what we follow is witchy people. You know what I mean? So that's what we are to see, especially as that one thought coming together, you know. And I really enjoyed the word that you picked for this year. So why don't you tell us about it?
Oh, well, my word is explore,
Mm-hmm.
because one of the uh, things, the fallout from 2020 for me was my life got completely turned on its ear. And there was a lot of grieving that went with that. I mean, I was grateful that we had the ability to, you know, adapt and shift and find a place where we could hunker down and be safe, because we couldn't travel. I mean, living a traveling life means that the world is in some amount of peace and safety.
Yes.
I mean, it would be like, you know, somebody trying to travel during the Spanish flu or even one of the world wars. It's not possible right now.
Yeah.
And but that doesn't, and when I sat with, okay, where does my focus need to be for 2021? The phrase, you know, what, or the feeling of what I missed, what I couldn't do in 2020 was, you know, that exploration, discovering new things, learning new things, meeting new people. And you don't necessarily have to go somewhere to do that, is the divine download that I got. And so here I am. I have a whole list of things that I plan to explore in 2021. There's no, with the exception of one thing, which I'm keeping quiet right now because I know that's what I need to do. But there's all kinds of things that I plan to explore, and it's all about having fun with it. Like, no, like you have to do this by this day and you have to do this by this day. I'm letting all of that go. I am just going to, you know, explore the fun things. We're going to be exploring new cuisines of the places we would have traveled. I'm going to explore getting better with my crocheting, because I've been working on an Afghan since August, and I don't know what the hell I did wrong, but we rolled it out and it's like 20 fucking feet long.
That's a nice Afghan.
I'm like, what did I do wrong? So clearly I need to explore that. And then I just have a list of, you know, other things, from, you know, deepening my knowledge of runes and dream work and everything that I'm already doing, but like really diving in even deeper than I ever have in the past. And so I'm excited for those possibilities for 2021, and all due to kind of, you know, what did I miss about 2020 and where can I employ that in this year?
Very good. I like it. I like it.
What about your word? Do you have a word?
You know, if I had a word to choose, it would probably be flow. You know, I'm so tired of constrictions and restrictions and rules and dates and times, and I'm a fucking Virgo. So those things are important to me. Okay. Those things are important to me, but
I was just gonna say, wow.
I know, like, don't get me wrong. I'm still all about my organization, but I feel as though the more organized I am, like, not like dates and times, but the more organized I am, a certain place for certain things, everything has its place, you know, the easier I can flow. And especially with all this beautiful, amazing Aquarian energy coming into play, it has brought me this calm space inside of me that's like, you know what? I know this looks like this right now, but you're working in the background and it's going to come to life when universe says it's going to come to life. And that's that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Instead, enjoy the time enjoy the homework time, enjoy the dinner time with the family, enjoy those things rather than, oh, well, shit, I got to get this done tonight. And I got to do this tonight. I still have my to-do lists. I still have those, but I don't look at them as to-dos now. I look at them as like eventual goals anymore. You know what I mean? So I still have a little bit of the structure, but I think the word for me would be, or is, flow, because I'm really learning how to not only flow through these things that I'm doing, but flowing through the release of the things that I no longer want to do. And
Mhm.
I'm totally okay with it. You know, like it used to be, oh my God, that's my baby. I created that. I need to keep it alive, blah, blah, blah. And now I look at stuff and I'm like, it doesn't, I'm a different person now. And so it doesn't feed
Mhm.
my being. And so I need to
Yeah.
allow myself the flow of releasing that, you know? So um that's my word. It's like, it's almost like I'm stoned all the time anymore, which is nice.
Dude, man, sign me up for that.
Which is nice, by the way. I'm digging it. So I'm just gonna put that out there. I'm really, really
Hey,
liking it, which I
be
think that's
just,
good.
feeling, buzzed on calm.
Yes,
Dude, me up for that.
that's exactly what I'm trying to say. Yes, I am feeling high on the vibration of calm. And you talk
Mhm.
about feeling high with calm. I mean, that is like, I'm just feeling balanced, man. So I'm just like I'm just allowing the world to happen. And I'm just allowing things to happen when, where, how, what, blah, 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 all those things
Mhm.
anymore.
Yeah. I think that's, with everything that happened in our nation's capital last week, I think that there's a lot of heightened anxiety.
Oh, hell yeah.
And
Oh, hell
I
yeah.
think that focusing on maybe just one word, if it's calm, if it's flow, if it's explore, if it's heal, whatever speaks to you, I think that can help energize you for the work that you on your personal path need to do to make the world a better place, to make your life its best,
I
to
mean, as
that you're living your
as you're
truth.
doing that, you're creating your own mantra. You're creating your year-long mantra, you know, and that is part of meditation. You know what I'm saying? So, in essence, you're creating this meditation and realizing that every step you take throughout this year, thinking this word, every action is dedicated to it, every breath is dedicated to it. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like that's your personal mantra. And that's very, very magical. It's very magical.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. I like it. So that is words is magic. How to use them.
I would love it if people commented and told us what their
What
word
their
of
words are, right? Or what their even what their intentions are for this new year.
I'm such a word geek. I'm such a language nerd that what other people, what other words that people find magical, I would love to know about.
For sure. For sure. So comment, people. Comment. Let's go into our self-care section. Oh, I know what I'm talking about next week.
Okay. Self-care. So for me, it's a new year and a new plan. And unlike you, I'm actually chunking out and blocking some time. I sat down between the solstice and the end of the Gregorian calendar year and looked at, like, this is chunking out time to accomplish things has been something I've been doing for many years now. But I realized that I was not being realistic about chunking out that time.
Good. Good.
And I forgot things like, I need to eat, maybe need to bathe, exercise, all those things. It's like, why aren't I doing these things? I have the motivation. I want to do these things. Why aren't I doing it? Well, you gotta make time, bitch.
I'm so proud of you right now. I'm so proud of you.
And I have more on my plate than I actually recognized I did. Like I was feeling like, oh, I have all this time. No, actually you don't. And so what can I let go of? Of course, there's some things that I, inserted in there, but also it was a recognition that there was stuff that I was doing that wasn't really moving me forward on the path that I wanted to go.
Good. Good.
So that is self-care. I mean, so,
That's your sweet little ass, that's self-care.
well, and I'll tell you what, God bless Jen. God bless Painted Goddess, because this little Bible
of I, she introduced me to that last year, and that has been literally my Bible. Telling you, dude.
But I love it because it really kind of helps me align with, when I should be doing something.
Yes.
Right. Always been a struggle for me.
Yes.
And one of the reasons why I was drawn to getting deeper into astrology. But now on my calendar for my self-care, for my new year, my new plan is I actually have scheduled moon baths.
Good.
It's something I always want to do. I never sporadically I would make it happen. And so now every moon, quarter moons, new moons, I'm on it. You'll see my ass in the tub.
Oh, Bruno, that makes me I am so proud of you. It has taken a long time for you to actually sit down and acknowledge the responsibilities that you have put upon yourself. And I'm so happy that you finally sat down and realized, holy fuck, I'm putting all of this on my own fucking plate. What the fuck am I doing? I need to love myself. So I'm so happy for you. Happy fucking New Year.
I mean, some of the responsibilities don't go away.
Of course not. You still have to take care of your house. You got to fucking farm. You got to take care of that, of course. But you have to allow that ample time to take care of you. And you never did that before. And I'm so happy for you. Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Thank you. I scheduled moon baths. It must be my own inner Virgo coming out.
Yes, it is. And isn't it beautiful? Fucking Virgo is amazing, if I do say so myself. So
just little chunks.
Yep, that's what it's about. That's what it's about. I found that when I would put all those responsibilities on my own plate too, I'd go way overboard. And then I'd get pissed off at myself because I wasn't completing all of them, And I'm like, dude, so finally this year with the whole flow, I'm like, you know what? Yep, these are the 3 goals that I want to set for this month. Okay, and here's my list of 50. So next month, I'm going to do these other 3. You know what I'm saying? This is what reality has shown me that I can really take on right now. And that is all I'm focusing on, is what I can really, really do.
Yeah.
That's it, man. That's it. And so my self-care is cat naps. And I am not a napper. I will tell you this right now. I do not nap.
I'm not a good napper either.
No, and because I used to put so much on my plate that my Virgo self would not allow my Leo rising to rest and nap and relax.
Leo rising.
Yeah. So see, you know exactly what I'm talking about. No, So it was really nice to come into this new year, and just the other day I was out running errands all day. I had to go back to the eye doctor, then I had to go return some things, stuff like that. Then I got home, it was like 2:00, and I sat down and my body said, hey, you're really tired right now. Take a nap. And the mental part of me was like, no, I don't have time to take a nap. And then the Leo said, yes, you do, fucker. Exactly. And so that's when I was like, okay, I'm going to take a nap. And I slept for an hour, girl, an hour. And I woke up feeling so much better, so relaxed. And then I woke up and I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to help the boys with their homework. We'll sit down, we'll do dinner. And then if I'm feeling energized after dinner, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to take on some of the tasks that I told myself I wanted to do today. But I felt very accomplished because I only set what I knew I could really do in one day in my planner. And
Yeah.
I think so my cat naps are definitely going to be a thing with me. I can tell you that right now because I fucking enjoyed it and I felt great. And my body's finally telling me, hey, your mind now is relaxed enough to do this. So let's do it. Let's get some of that time back from these babies when they were little and you having to take, hours now. You know what I'm talking about. So now it's time to get some time back. We're going on 13 and 11. So it's time to get some of that time back now. Yeah, I know. 13 in March and then 11 in June. Girl, I know. I'm there. So my mind is telling me it's time to get some of that time back. And I think one of the biggest self-care things that you can do for yourself is to be realistic. Be realistic. What can you really accomplish that day? And you know what? Don't beat yourself up if it's just getting the fuck out of bed, because sometimes it's just getting out of bed, and that is okay.
Yeah.
That is okay. And
absolutely.
Yeah.
You're going to need those because teenagers, their rhythms are so different.
It's already going.
Up late. Oh, God.
So
you know, you've got two grown children. Yeah. What am I talking?
Grown ass women, children. So yeah, so I believe that putting those things on that list that you can attain, you can accomplish, realistic things, not 50, maybe 3, maybe 2, maybe fucking 1, that you can attain. Guess what? That night after you're sitting and you're like, oh, check, because I'm a Virgo and I still like doing that. Check. You know what I'm saying? When you are checking that shit off the list and you've gotten to the bottom of that list and you're like, oh my God, I completed everything today. How do you feel? Fantastic. And you know why you feel fantastic? Because you set realistic goals for that day, month, week, year, whatever. Realistic. And being realistic to me is huge self-care, because that is showing yourself love and respect and knowing that it's okay to limit what I fucking try and do in one day. Totally fine. And if you need a goddamn cat nap, take one.
I think I did. What day did I do it? And I didn't mean to do it. I fell asleep on the yoga mat for it was only 10 minutes.
That is the Leo in you.
I was just ending the session with Shavasana, and I'm just and I can super get deep and use that time as a meditation. But then I was working with a YouTube video for the practice at that point, and all of a sudden this commercial or something came on.
Oh, I hate that one.
I was like, what happened? And there's 10 minutes of this other video that played, and I was just like, whoa. But I have to look at I'm just curious as we're talking about making lists and stuff, because I've been a list mania cult member forever.
Me too.
I'm not a Virgo. I don't have any Virgo in my natal chart. I'm a moon is in Cancer, sun in Scorpio. My MC is in Taurus, and of course I have a Leo rising. But I have to see if there's any planetary influences Virgo, and I can't remember right now, because a list has been a thing since I could write. Since I could write words, I have been making lists. And it made ADD thing, and I just don't even know it. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to have to investigate.
It could possibly be for both you and I, because I organize, then I reorganize, then I reorganize that, then I reorganize that. Then I'm making my fucking list.
The exercise stuff is gone and my books are back.
I'm
moving everything in my studio again today. But I myself.
Part of the flow and part of the explore is allowing yourself to just fucking go with it. You know what I mean? Just allowing yourself to just do it, whatever, you know?
I'm giving myself permission to do all of this because, I mean, I've only been in this space for 6 months.
Yeah.
I don't understand the energy and the chi in this space completely yet. I mean, you know, I don't think that I'll have a better handle on it until we've been here at least a year and maybe longer. So,
well, and honestly, like I told you before, I used to move shit around my house all the time just because the energy would get stagnant and then I'd move it somewhere else. My bedroom moved around several times, like every couple of months I moved my bedroom around.
yeah.
So, and I've been doing that since I was like 10. So it is about the energy, but it's also about realizing things don't always have to stay exactly the way that you first put them. Change is amazing.
It drives the Viking crazy though.
Oh, too bad. Get over it.
Where did you move the Sharpies to? I'm like, they're in the junk drawer. Well, they were over here at first. I'm like, yeah, I know. We didn't have a junk drawer at first. Now we have a junk drawer.
They're fucking in there. I don't need your feedback. I just need you to know this is where they're at. You want them, you go get them there. I don't need you to speak right now.
It's funny because I'll be like, okay, I know he's going to get upset about this, so I'm going to tell him I'm doing this. I have done this. Don't forget. And then he still comes back and is like, what the hell?
Of course. He's a man. I don't know that you would expect anything fucking different than that, to be quite honest with you. And I love men, but it's true, okay?
I'll tell him to take a nap. He'll love me for it.
Yes, yes. All right. So that's wonderful self-care, by the way. I love all that. Let's go into Witch's Brew. What you got today?
I have a very simple yet very useful little brew today, and it's called rosemary salt. And you just take dried rosemary and coarse salt. You want, you know, bigger cold, and you stick it in your mortar and your pestle, and you just sit there and grind it down, and you put whatever intention you want to. You can use it for cooking. This is great, even just like on anything. It just brings up the level. If you're going to put salt on something that you're cooking, you might as well put rosemary on it. Salt and rosemary in all kinds of ritual work and spell work is great. Basis, simple. If there's something an herb that you don't have that's supposed to be in a spell, rosemary can, along with salt, can replace it.
Nice.
It's so simple. And I don't understand why people don't do it themselves. Like, I was in Whole Foods and they had rosemary salt there, and it was like this little 1 ounce container, and it was like $10. And I'm like,
what the fuck? Jeez Louise.
And I mean, I know there's people out there that their lives just don't afford them time to sit and mortar and pestle, you know, salt and rosemary like I prefer, but there is something absolutely so powerful about it. And they make nice little gifts for people too.
Yes. And think about it this way too, like when you are using that mortar and pestle, you are combining the divine feminine with the divine masculine. You're bringing them together.
Exactly.
Like this whole fertile concept of just the mortar and pestle itself, you know, so it's a really wonderful way of creating magic for sure.
Yes.
Okay.
So make your rosemary salt, have it by the stove, have it by your altar, put it in your herb cupboard.
Yeah, you can use it for many different things for sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to our healing the earth. What do you have?
No, I want you to go first.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Well, you keep asking me as we move from section to section in our podcast. You're like, what do you have? And I'm like, nope, I'm gonna switch it up. You go first.
Well, I have to be quite honest. This morning I sat down and I didn't have anything, and then like 3 different things popped into my head. So I'm going to go with the one that came into my head second, because the first one I'm not doing yet. So the second one, we just had this huge ass windstorm out here. I mean, the trees have like a fallen tree in the backyard now. And branches, evergreen branches all over the place. So I am going to go and pick some up, and I'm going to make a nice wreath, because you can always have a wreath on your door. It doesn't matter what the season.
Yeah.
So make a nice little wreath. And then I'm going to take some of the other twigs and some of the leaves or bristles, whatever you want to call them, and use them in some spell work that I'm creating. So that is my Heal the Earth, repurposing the gifts of Gaia that she has bestowed upon me in my yard via windstorm.
Well, and we're getting to the gathering of sticks season anyways, in preparation for Imbolc. So
yes, we are.
I would tell you what, this witch's front door is never without a wreath. Never.
It's not only are they put there to invite, but you can also put protection into that wreath as well,
every single time.
They're a wonderful, wonderful protective aid for not just your front door. You can put them anywhere that you want to put them. You can put them in your kitchen. You can put them anywhere you want to put them. And they're pretty to look at. So why not? And they smell amazing. So why not?
Yeah. It's another thing that you can do with dried rosemary besides add it to salt is you can make wreaths from it.
Yep. Because the rosemary branches are amazing. They are amazing. They bend so nicely. All right. Give me your Heal the Earth now.
I want to encourage everybody to begin to use cloth napkins. It's few and far between times when you should be using disposable paper napkins.
So over it.
And there are occasions, picnics or whatever, which aren't going on right now anyhow. And you can use bamboo because it's way more renewable than forestry products. The great thing that I love about cloth napkins is you can begin to bring moments of the wheel of the year in, whether it's Yule or winter or, Austera and Imbolc and, the whole 9 yards. I mean, I've got my Halloween ones are packed away, but I got spiders and witches and everything else on that.
What's your favorite cloth to use?
I prefer a blend of cotton and polyester, but I like them a little thicker because you're washing them.
Right.
I wash.
So they have to hold up.
So they got to hold up. Where a good source of finding cloth napkins inexpensively is your local thrift store. So don't be going and getting too many of the cool ones because I want to get them.
I've also seen them at the dollar store as well. I love
really?
I love that goddamn dollar store.
My local dollar store here is kind of a scary place, and so I don't go. Well, they're not practicing social distancing. They're not in people wearing masks right now.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there was a worker there that had a paper towel taped to the bottom of her glasses as her mask. And I was just like,
okie dokie. All right.
But I didn't know they had cloth napkins. I'll have to look. There are other dollar stores around, but
they don't have a huge selection, but they do have a few.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that
probably Big Lots too.
I'm sure Big Lots definitely. And I'm sure that the material at the dollar store is not like the thicker material that you like to use.
Yeah.
And I totally get why you would use cotton too. I mean, much more absorbent.
But I like, yes, they're very much more absorbent, but a little bit of like polyester or other man-made, because the cotton, I do have full cotton ones, and then you have to iron them.
Yes,
and
they get wrinkly as shit. I know. I'd like your t-shirt. I know. All right. So let's move into what we are going to be talking about next week. And next week, we are going to be talking about our next spot on the wheel of the year, we're going to be talking about Imbolc. And I love
Mhm.
Imbolc for several different reasons, but I love
Same.
Imbolc for the celebration of light. I love bringing that
Mhm.
light back into my life and
Mhm.
remembering, oh, hey, soon, Beltane's coming. And soon my
Mhm.
Beltane tree is going to come to life. Soon we're going to start seeing all the little buds on the trees and the flowers. And it's coming. It's actually coming even in Washington. It'll really be here.
You cracked me up so much. You
This is
cracked me up so
sweet.
much.
This is sweet. Oh my God, the sun will actually come back. I know it will.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's me in Washington. So we'll give you a little bit of history about Imbolc. We're going to talk about ways that you can celebrate Imbolc, and we're going to get it out nice and early. That way people can prepare and get ready and do your own research on Imbolc and find ways that you might want to celebrate and things that you might want to do. Because we all have our own ways and things that pop out at us more so than others. And that's exactly what divine wants us to do, wants us to
Mhm.
go with what universe is telling us feeds us.
Yes.
All
Yes.
right. Now we are moving into our rune and tarot area. And Runa is going to do her runes first.
So I got Thurazaz, which came up actually Merkstav, which is reversed. And it speaks to the destruction, like a reactive force. It's there's some betrayal and malice and hatred and torment, which is Thurazad is there to say, yes, it's coming or it's here. And, you know, in the US, we know it's here, but it's in Freya's Ayat. And so it speaks to the primal fire and that destruction in order to create something better, something more productive, something that is harvestable. Right now, what is in here for us is not harvestable. And, you know, we don't, it's not going to provide us our, you know, our truest and best self. So Thurazaz is the thorn giant. So it's something that picks at you and reminds you to move away from that and sow your fields with something that's better.
I like that.
And I think that your tarot card kind of dovetails into that.
Today I drew the Prince of Swords in reverse, and we know that our swords are, well, in my practice, air, and they are intellect and communication and expression. And the princes are about taking that action of, they're about the doing. And when he comes in reverse, first of all, reverse is, you know, not always the opposite meaning. For me, reverse is that introspection. It's that inside work, right?
Right.
We need to actually acknowledge too that Mercury just entered Aquarius, okay? And Mercury is that planet of communication. Moving into a wonderful, expansive area is fabulous, but sometimes it can also cause some miscommunication as well. So with the Prince of Swords coming in reverse, he is really reminding us, instead of the doing of like taking of action of communication, allow things to unfold a little bit. Allow things to unfold. Allow yourself to really go with the flow of the situation. Stand back for a moment. Think about what you're going to say, then say it. No knee-jerk reactions. He's a reminder of that. No knee-jerk reactions. You know, there might be like new ways of, God hopes, there might be new ways of thinking coming into our minds. Don't fight them. Don't fight them. Even if you've grown up thinking they're bizarro, they're wrong, they're all these things, don't fight these ways of thinking, because that's universe feeding you new possibilities for positivity and change. So allow these things to occur. Try not to fight so much. Try not to have knee-jerk reactions so much. Allow the expansiveness of Aquarius play with Mercury and allow Mercury more so freedom to express in different ways. You know, that's my take on it.
Yes. I think that the King of Swords, much like Thurzaz, is a catalyst,
Yeah,
right?
Prince of Swords, yes, because he's that action taker. He's that, let's get this shit started. Come on, you know?
Yeah.
And you know, and this, because it's in reverse, is the introspection of action, you know, that inside work. So we're doing a lot of inner mental work right now. And, you know, it's about our perception and how we're seeing things and how we're going to react to these things, how we're going to express ourselves. So we need to start being more aware of it and a lot more open to the new things that are coming into play. For sure.
Don't dismiss your intuition. That was
100%. Yes.
Yes.
100%. Absolutely. All right. And now we are heading into the spell. And since this, my hair is everywhere today. And since this podcast is going to be out for the new moon on the 12th in Capricorn, I have written a new moon affirmation, if you will. Hold on, I need to find my other reading glasses. I only have like 5 pairs now, so get those ones that really work. Okay, here we go. Here we go. As I let go of what is blocking me, I make room for all that is to come. I invite abundance, love, understanding, and light into my life. Every step I take and every seed I plant, I do so knowing that I am open to receive the blessings of divine. So it is. New moon affirmation.
very nice. Very nice.
Thank you.
And to all of you listening, watching, thank you for joining us.
It's in there. It's in there. I know it is. Okay.
Thank you for listening. Go in peace, love, and light.
The circle is open but unbroken. Until we meet again, my darlings, merry part and blessed
be.